Happy Friday. Welcome to the last segment of the SmackDown between Dave McClure and David Hornik. I'm not even going to call it the Angel VC, SmackDown anymore. It's the David SmackDown. All right. Today's topic is convertible debt versus equity. I mean, this is just the nerdiest. I've never seen such a nerdy topic drive so much passion in the
This is
blogosphere.
awesome because when I went from being a lawyer to a VC, I thought that all of those lawyering skills were of no value. Now I'm the man.
You're in demand
we're going to
again.
let you start this one.
Oh, great.
So
What is the
explain
difference?
your view and why. Why should we care?
Why do people care?
Yeah.
So there are only two things that matter. I mean, here's the short take on it. One is about price, and the other is about control, and that is all that matters, and that's all that people are discussing, right? So equity rounds do two things. They set a price, and it's a price at that time, and they set a set of controls around the company: when it can raise money, how it can raise money, who's on the board, all of those things, right? Then on the other end of the spectrum is the uncapped convertible note. That basically is, here is my money. Someday you will raise money, and when you do, I'll get that stock, but I'll get a little bit more of it because that's the sweetener for me coming early, right? Mm-hmm.
Based on the discount.
So you'd say, oh, I get 30% more when you do a financing. And then what's all the rage is the capped convertible round, which basically says, look, here's your money, go build a company, and when you raise money, then we'll get that stock. But by the way, if you raise money at 10 million pre, I still get it at an 8 million pre. So as a result, you get some more, and it's set at a fixed price. So it's like, I'm not going to let you take money and make a bunch of progress on my back and then get the price to 20 million and I get 30% value on that, right? Mm-hmm. I'm going to set a price that says, look, you can use that money and you can convert it when time comes, but it's at a price. Mm-hmm. In that instance, and the uncapped convertible note, there are none of these controls, right? The company continues on without the investors having a board seat or liquidation preference or any of that stuff. It is all punted to the future, right?
So why is this creating so much passion?
Well, so if you talk with folks like Paul Graham, they will
Who started this?
Who started this? Yes.
By saying it had won.
Your fault, Paul Graham, that we give a shit. It was all about, entrepreneurs have all the power now, and the investors don't have the power. And if the entrepreneur has the power, then they would say, I'm going to punt on this stuff, and I'm going to build a big company, and don't worry about it, right? And then there's this undercurrent of, and by the way, VCs are bad guys, and they only want those things basically to screw you. So you should say, no, I will not be screwed. I want to do a convertible note, and then it'll be done at a price. And that's everything that this fight is about, right?
So is it that much better for entrepreneurs?
No, it depends on who you're taking money from. My view is, don't take money from people you don't trust and like, right? If you trust and like people, then you should be able to come to some agreement about how to move forward with that company, right?
What's your view on this?
I mean, I agree with the don't take money from people you don't trust, but I think, trust in Allah, but yoke your camel anyway. You do need to have
The conversation just got nerdy.
Well, so I mean, it's great that I trust you, Mr. Investor, or it's great that I trust you, Ms. Entrepreneur, but let's put some terms in the relationship that we both understand and agree to. I think from my side, one thing that I think is happening in the super angel category is when super angels or notable angel investors, let's just say it that way, invest in some companies, the value of the company goes up from the perception of other investors because investors that are well known are in the company. It's not as much based on the material progress of the company in terms of product or customers.
McClure company
It's a Dave McClure
50% more
saying.
valuable.
So, I'm not going to say I'm the big shit
get,
in the valley,
you know
but
what you should get like a little
But
Dave
you're
McClure
saying you're the big shit in the valley.
500 hats, like tag that goes on each website.
What about little buttons for lapels?
So I do hope that my brand does matter and helps people establish their value and everything, and we'll see if I can do that or not. But I think, generally speaking, you want the company to increase in value based on their own performance, not based on whether, I think it's cool or hot or not, or whether other people think I think it's cool or hot or not. And what I think you see happening, Ron Conway is probably the best example of it, is used to be that convertible notes were a discount based on time, like how much time it took. And then what happened was, well, as soon as Ron's in, the money goes up, right? So Ron and other people that are notable investors don't want to do uncapped convertible notes In many cases, they don't want to do convertible notes at all because as soon as they put money in, the value of the company goes up and they end up screwing themselves on the discount to some future number. So I think what happens is some angels, myself, well, super angels, whatever you want to call it, will say, great, I'm happy to use a capped note. We don't know what the price is right now. I hope that you're able to successfully move the value of that up to some amount, but I want to know that I get some limited amount of ownership, right? Or some amount of shares or something based on my value that's not too excessive, right? And I think that's the value in the capped note is that you know that there's some limit, but you're not paying for a large legal cost in doing that. It's a relatively simple structure. You can make it quick and easy for both parties. And so you can get capital into the company quickly and they can start to make progress.
Now, Fred Wilson did a post last week saying that he thinks convertible notes are horrible. He doesn't want to do them. He's a little bit worried that now that super angels are so behind them, he's going to be forced to do them and he's not happy about it. Is part of this you guys just screwing with VCs more?
Is that what you're up to? Because I would like to know.
No, because
is it creating a wedge issue? Because it's become a wedge issue.
See, this is what's so interesting to me. Because by the way, it used to be there are a bunch of uncapped notes, and then first round capital said, look, we're going to price rounds. We're going to put money in, and we're going to invest at a particular price. Now I wonder maybe they're being forced to not do that anymore, or whatever. But the reality is, a capped round is just a price round, right? It's not. So
it's a ceiling.
Where's the
ceiling?
Yeah, but it's but the question is, the companies that matter are the ones that are successful.
And so it's basically a price.
And so it's about pricing your successful investment. So you say, like, I'm willing to do it. I want to cap it at $6 million pre.
Yeah.
You might as well do an equity investment at $6 million pre. If it goes down,
well, except that the equity investment costs $50,000 to put together instead of.
That's
okay, great. If you go tell Wilson to change how much they're charging, I'll start doing price rounds.
You were an attorney. You just like fees.
No, it's just silly. That stuff is going away. Like the idea that this should cost $30,000 to get done. Fine, so don't do that, right? That's not the problem. The problem is
I think that is the problem for people who do priced rounds. Like my average cost structure is a couple.
I know it's one of the reasons people are citing it.
So this is one of the places where doing investments at scale actually does make a difference. I can negotiate with lawyers and say, look, I'm going to do 30, 50 deals. I'm not paying more than $2,500 for this financing because it's a simple structure and I want to be quick.
Financing documents are not value add, right? Here's the deal. No one is getting some strategic value from having better financing documents, etc. So the documents...
Au contraire, mon frère. Absolutely.
I'm saying...
You think there's no strategic advantage in having simple term sheets or simple documents?
What I'm saying is...
I thought that's what I heard you say.
Yeah, you're misinterpreting. What I'm saying is, let's lawyer the shit out of this so we can get the right thing. Like, who cares? Yeah. The reality is,
I do care.
I'm agreeing with you, Dave. Shut up, and I'll agree with you. In an early stage company, they're basic terms. The only things you need to worry about are price and option pool and some control crap.
I wish more VCs
agree on it, get it done. Who cares?
Wish more VCs thought and acted like you just said, and I wish more VCs lawyers didn't charge through the nose to accomplish those goals.
Final word, because I've talked to a lot of entrepreneurs who are first-time entrepreneurs in the last week or so. They're seeing all their heroes of investors, whether they're angels or VCs, sounding off about this issue and saying one's good for entrepreneurs, one's good for entrepreneurs. And, I think people are confused. If you're a first-time entrepreneur reading all this, what is the one thing you need to know?
You want an investor who you trust and who adds value to you however you perceive that, and you want a transaction that proceeds quickly without a lot of cost.
Right.
Hey. Wow, we're ending it all on a love fest. Well, I want to thank both of you for, making my afternoon entertaining and waking me up from my post-lunch snooze. And we'll hopefully you start picking another fight and we can have you guys back.
All right. I think we can bank on that.
We can pick a fight in Hawaii.